So, you're starting university, and you're diving headfirst into the world of academic writing. It's exciting, but there's this one thing that can feel a little intimidating: citation. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on APA style and give you everything you need to start citing with total confidence. And let's be real, almost every first-year student feels this way. You're trying to build your arguments using other people's research, and it can feel like you're walking a tightrope. But you can relax, because there's a system for this, a clear system that's designed to help you, not to trick you. First things first, let's get super clear on what we're trying to avoid here: plagiarism. It's basically presenting someone else's brilliant ideas as your own without giving them credit. And in the academic world, that's a really big deal. Honestly, learning to cite correctly is probably one of the most crucial skills you're going to develop. And here's the absolute best way to think about APA citation. It is not some dusty old set of rules meant to make your life harder. Nope. It's a tool. It's your shield. It protects you from accidental plagiarism by making it crystal clear which ideas are yours and which ideas you're borrowing to support your own. Okay, Section 1. Why do citations even matter? Well, think of them as your personal credibility booster. See, it's about so much more than just avoiding trouble. When you cite your sources properly, you're signaling to your professor, hey, I've done my homework. You're proving that your arguments aren't just pulled out of thin air. They're built on a foundation of established research. You're officially stepping into the conversation. All right, Section 2. Let's get practical. Citing inside your text. These are the absolute building blocks of the whole system. You've basically got two main ways to do this, and they're both super simple. You can use what's called a narrative citation, where you just weave the author's name right into your sentence, like, according to Smith. Or you can use a parenthetical citation, where you pop the author and the year in parentheses at the end of the sentence. Either way works great. Now, here's a great way to think about these little in-text citations. That little Smith 2020 you just typed, it's not the whole story, not even close. It's just a little hint, a clue. It's a clue that leads your reader to the end of your paper, to the reference list. It points them to the full detailed information about that source. It's a beautiful, simple two-part system, a little clue in the text and the complete story waiting for them at the end. Which brings us to Section 3, building that reference list. This is where you tell the full story. But before we get into the nitty-gritty formats, let's talk about a really key distinction. Paraphrasing is when you take someone's idea and you put it completely in your own words. Quoting, on the other hand, is using their exact words, word for word, in quotation marks. You know, for most of your writing, you're going to be paraphrasing. It shows you actually understand the material. Okay, Section 4, mastering the formats. Now, this might seem like a lot, but I promise it's easy if you think of them as simple fill-in-the-blank templates. So let's start with a book. The template is straightforward. You start with the author, last name, then initials, then the year in parentheses, then, and this is important, the title of the book is in italics. You wrap it up with the publisher. That's it. Just fill in those 4 pieces. Journal articles follow a very similar pattern. You've got the author and the year, just like before, then the title of the article itself. But here's the key difference to watch out for. It's the journal's name that gets italicized, followed by all those numbers, the volume, issue, and page numbers. That's the specific roadmap to finding that exact article. And what about a website? The template here is pretty intuitive. You list the author, then the most specific date you can possibly find. The title of the page you're looking at is italicized, then you give the name of the whole website, and finally the URL so your reader can click right to it. So, Section 5, tools for success. Because here's the best part, you don't have to do this all from memory. You have a whole support system. Okay, so online citation generators. They can be lifesavers for quickly getting your formatting right, but, and this is a big but, always double check their work. For the final word on anything tricky, you go to the source, the official APA manual. And please, don't forget about your university's writing center. They have experts paid to help you with this exact stuff. I really love this quote. It just reframes everything perfectly, doesn't it? APA isn't some monster you have to fight. It's your ally. It's your guide through what can sometimes feel like a confusing labyrinth of research. It helps you find your way. So here's the main thing I want you to walk away with. Just like learning any new skill, this takes a little practice. You'll look at the templates at first, for sure, but pretty soon it'll just become second nature. And mastering this skill is what empowers you to move beyond just reporting what others have said and to start contributing your own unique voice to the academic world. And really, that's the whole point. Learning to cite isn't just about passing a class or getting a good grade. It's about earning your seat at the table. It's your ticket to participate in the massive, ongoing conversation of ideas. So now that you've got the tools, the only question left is, what conversation are you going to join?